Welcome back. I'm your host, Marcus Moore, and this is Alaska Rants, where unsophisticated, uneducated conversations start happening. We're just a couple of guys in search of the truth, asking questions, seeking some facts over feelings. Looking around today, I see this clown world, man. It's filled with some wacko ideas. In just the last 5 years, I sat back and watched society just jump off a cliff. You know, the things my parents used to warn me about, you know. I'm glad I listened to their advice. I never did follow the norm. I never have. I'm just the kind of person that just asks why, like a little child, you know, until I'm satisfied with the answers. Nowadays, I just hear these concepts that people have that aren't even based in logical reality. It kind of blows my mind. And they can't engage in dialogue or debate. They get mad when you ask them a question. And that kind of leads me into like the importance of free speech, right? Free speech is not here to protect anybody's feelings. If nobody was offended by your words, then there would be no need to protect speech. The First Amendment exists for only one purpose, and that purpose is for offensive fucking speech. So go out there, offend someone today and ask them a question, you know? Or you can go speak your truth and just make sure you back that up with some facts, not your feelings. So like and follow if you enjoy this content or if you like what we've been seeing. We are 16 days strong. Share our stuff, help us grow. And if you got any rants or questions, have any answers that you're too afraid to ask, well, shoot them to us and we'll look into them and maybe we'll post them if they're good. On today's show, we're just going to go over a couple topics from last week on our reaction videos from Juneteenth celebration with my boy JP. We'll be talking maybe what our plans are for the upcoming 4th of July, if there's any parties, camping, events. And then we're going to finish it up on a little social issue, RCV, baby, ranked choice voting. So joining me tonight in the studio is my main man, as always, JP, Silky, and Smooth. Brother, we went out to that last Juneteenth festival, and this sort of all got started with me asking you one question.
What is Juneteenth?
What is Juneteenth? So what did you learn? How do you feel? Did you feel, I don't know, just, you know, share with me some of your opinions and thoughts of one question, if it changed your life.
Before JP answers that question, I just want to give you guys a quick reminder to please like, share, and follow. All the support we can get is greatly appreciated. And we're working hard, rolling hard every single day. We're going to be pushing out content as much as we can. So if you like the content, stay tuned because there's more coming.
To be honest, brother, it woke me up a little bit. Realizing Juneteenth isn't just about, you know, picking a date for a random, you know, day to celebrate. Apparently there's some history behind it. And that I did not know.
Whether you want to agree with it or not.
Oh, right, exactly.
Right? Acknowledge it or not, the facts are still there. Mm-hmm. Right? So, how does that make you feel? That, like, you know, like, do you feel like it's a holiday? If it's an event, like, should it be celebrated as a communal holiday as the United States? Do you think it's just a separate event that should just be holding homage? You know what I mean? Like 9/11 and Pearl Harbor, yeah. And right, like
it should be included. I would say now that I see it, I think it should be a little bit included. I mean, just at least recognized to the extent it can be, especially here in this small town we have, you know, to see the amount of people that came out for the festival, to see, you know, the camaraderie, not just blacks, the whole race to come out.
100%.
You know, it just really shows like it's not just all about one color.
It's kind of funny though. Well, not funny. Sad if you think about it, because they came out and we talked to those gentlemen and said, man, it used to be huge.
Literally, when I say this place was full and packed, believe me, bro.
And the mayor used to be down here. They'd have music going. The mayor would always come to Juneteenth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that.
And it was longer than this.
Yeah.
The whole park strip.
Big, bro.
And to me, that kind of like molds into the idea that a lot of these people think it's like a forced celebration for 4th of July, a made-up holiday.
Yeah, that's what I originally thought that was originally. I thought this whole Juneteenth was another LGBTQ thing. Honestly, that's exactly what I thought. That's why. Don't get me wrong. You did say it last time. Actually, at least one of the people that we interviewed did say, "Are you under a rock?" And I'm like, "You're damn right I am." But I usually don't stick my nose into things that I don't
I work for a living.
Exactly. I usually don't stick my nose into things that that don't really interest me, or let alone I want to be a part of. But now that I know this whole Juneteenth thing is more than just what meets the eye, something I would like to be a part of next time. Especially seeing the amount of work that at least here in Anchorage people really put into small businesses came out. A lot of people that run a lot of things came out. DJ music, local artists.
I totally support it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if you got a cultural event, whether you're Black, Asian, Pacific Islander,
Everything,
Native,
anything,
whatever,
anything
bro. If there's a day in your culture, right, go ahead and celebrate it. That's like the beauty of being an American.
Yeah, it is.
Right. And I sort of talked about that on our Juneteenth episode, right? I went on this whole rant about how I don't feel they're equal measure. They're not on the same page.
Yeah.
Right. I feel like they're in the same book. Right. And I respect it, but I'm not going to personally celebrate at the same level as I'm going to celebrate the 4th of July or Veterans Day, right? I mean, I don't know if Veterans Day is like a good example because I'd have to like go back and be like, oh, but anybody that died for this country, right? Built this country, supported this country. I feel like that's where your love and your support should go, regardless of what you believe in.
Yeah.
Right? Like the only reason you're here believing this is because of that.
Yeah.
Right? And they just recently on like off topic, newer stuff, 10 Commandments coming back into school, right? And everybody's bringing religion into stuff now.
They bring it in. They bring it into religion.
You got all this, crazy stuff. To me, it's like, why does it matter, right? Because if you're bitching about the 10 Commandments, right? Why are you spending money? Real talk, because money says, "In God we trust." So if you're spending money, right, you're still under one God, right? And I get like the first 4 commandments are like only worship one God, right? So then they automatically throw that into Christianity, one God, right? But honestly, it's like Muslims, one God, right? Allah, he's not 10,000 gods, right? Buddha, really,
Dead.
dead. Oh, I love
Dead.
it. Okay, so they don't exist anymore. I missed that wipeout.
Gone.
Right. I don't know. I just look at all these major religions, right? And
Yeah.
they're all pretty much like one God. There might be a different version of a God, right? But it's still one God. So why should anybody have a problem with us being united? Different religions, one God.
It comes back down to what you said before, the whole cultural thing. Like, that's why the whole racial thing was a big thing back in the day. If you weren't white, you were called something else, and it wasn't really, and it wasn't
We
really
ain't going down that
we ain't
road,
gonna go down
bro.
that
I ain't
road.
trying to be viral.
Yeah, but it was it brought a whole different meaning to knowing like whether having a cultural differences is like a real big thing. Having that meaning towards it is always good. And I was gonna actually ask you, since the Juneteenth thing came around, would you celebrate it differently than you would 4th of July? Why would?
Hell yeah, dog. First off, I ain't black.
Oh, yeah, okay.
All right, dog. I'm a white ass motherfucker, dog.
That's the obvious.
All right, and we have differences. If we
Of
were
course.
agreed on 100% of everything, I'd be fucking scared of you.
How would you celebrate?
Okay.
How would you celebrate the two?
How would I
differently?
celebrate the two?
Because clearly we
I would
know
do no different than what I did this time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Go hang out with a brother, right? A good friend,
My man.
and go out and just celebrate.
Say less.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just, hey, brother, you made it.
Yeah.
Okay. I personally don't know anybody that owned a slave. I don't know anybody that was a slave, right? But hey, brother, you made it out.
Made it out.
Right?
I'm free.
You're stuck in the hood now.
I'm
I
stuck
don't
in
know
the
which
hood,
is better.
but I don't know what's better.
Right?
But
I
hey,
mean,
I'm free.
But you're free.
I'm free though.
You're making choices.
My nigga.
You got a job. Like, damn.
It's a little different.
I don't know. That's just, I see it, right?
Of course.
I feel like, a lot of people work, right? You get this mindset that you're out contributing to society and you're doing the normal thing, right? My opinion is that if you work for an hourly wage and you're not fighting for a percentage or multiple revenues,
Don't get
right?
stuck.
You're a freaking slave.
Don't get stuck.
Okay, that's my opinion, right? I feel
agree.
like you get these cowards, right, that don't want to stand up for anything, so they sit down for nothing, right? Comfortable, complacent, lazy, right? We talked about this before. If it doesn't hit you in the face,
It just, yeah,
it's just gone.
People were in there. Remind you, we are in Anchorage.
Um,
People do live in a little bit of a bubble up here.
Which is gonna be cool because the 4th of July coming up. We got camping, fishing,
Everything.
everything, parties. I'm not sure what kind of local activities are going because I have
Beats me, brother.
a real life. I'll find out July 3rd.
The day, the
next day.
the minute before.
Right? Like Friday night, are we going camping? I don't know. We'll find out, and right before I go to bed, am I getting up at 5 a.m. or are we getting up at 11?
I'm not gonna lie, I could see you right now in bed just looking at your alarm clock popping off. 4th of July.
about to do some shit.
You have to do some shit.
Gotta blow some shit up.
Another alarm says, "Are we doing something? Or are we not doing?"
I mean, you gotta blow something up, bro. If you're gonna do
course.
anything on 4th of July, go out with a bang, right? So
Fireworks.
I'm gonna join the rest of us in Anchorage that aren't going to pop off fireworks.
You click.
And
That click.
and respect the authority. And I'm gonna celebrate it, like an American, patriotically.
Man.
That's what I'm gonna do, right? I'm also we're gonna go out and we're gonna do man on the street interviews at some of these activities. Again, we're gonna find out July 3rd where this shit's happening, and we're gonna go down. And I figured it'd be cool to ask some people if they knew what Alaska was. If they knew that we were part of the United States, obviously, right? People forget that, right? So are we a republic or democracy, right? I hear that all the time. I watch all this shit, and that's like, you got the split answer 50-50.
Yeah.
Do you know what the difference between a democracy and a republic is when we go out and ask?
Shoot. In my opinion, brother, from what I read, I see two of the same answer, literally. And to me, I think of it as what I've read, at least the Google Dictionary version. It sounds to me dictatorship.
What, both versions?
Both versions, in my opinion. And to me, it's like you're on one side that wants to rule one side, and then you have another side that wants to rule another. And it's like, then that's why they're fighting, because they don't have an agreement on something. To me, it's like, come to a consensus to where it's equal for both parties to make it fair for everybody else. But trying to rule it on one side makes it just like uneven, and that's where the whole conflict of interest becomes a real bad thing. And to me, it's like one wants to be a dictator, the other one just wants to rule the world, or rule, basically the same thing. I just kind of said the same thing, but basically it's how it's almost,
I would say that is really close. Really close. You're kind of off on some parts.
Yeah, some.
Obviously.
But that's because, like I said,
but
brief read, and it's just.
I broke it down into like a really simple version, right? In a democracy, let's say the majority of people in California and the majority of people in New York, right? Instead of everybody getting two, they would divvy up those states for people. So then all of a sudden, California is going to have 50 people representing them. You're going to get one. Everybody else is going to get one. All the rural people are going to get one person, right? And then every decision is going to be dictated by the major metropolitan cities. So in that process, then you're being controlled by the mob, basically, right? Because majority of those people, right? So for example,
like little,
we're red
like
states, blue states right now, and the majority of the big cities are blue, right? And then you got all these pockets that are red, huge, supporting hardcore followers, right? And then the blue cities got all these people making all the rules. Red people just get shoved under the bus, even if they're the majority in the nation spread out. The majority of people that are stuck in these little states get the pros to that. So you want to be a republic, but we could, each has their pros and cons, right? But in a republic, at least you have a chance to stand up for itself and get benefits and support, that you wouldn't otherwise necessarily get in a democracy.
Now, to add on to that,
That's too complicated.
no, I was tracking very, very clearly. Actually, I was going to ask, where do the mayors come into play into each state?
Local states.
Local
Right,
states,
so
like
we
for
have
us or whatever.
So if anybody, like, we have a democracy in local states,
tracking.
I would say, because the democracy in a local state is the majority rules, right? So the majority of people elect in one person to represent us, speak for us, right?
Tracking.
So that's more like a democracy. But I would say the United States as a whole is a republic, right? And I might be wrong on that. I'm not an expert on anything, right? That's just how my interpretation of it, I see it, right? And you know me, man. You showed me some facts and, you know, changed my mind with some, you know, data and some proof and shit. You know, I'll say I'm wrong,
Brother, I'll just tell you
right?
right now.
But that's sort of how I see it and I feel it. But we're gonna go out and we're gonna ask people their real time thoughts, questions on it, right? And also ask them if they voted and why not, right? It's a holiday. It's a federal holiday. It's a celebration of our birth, our right to vote, right? So we're gonna go out and hit them with a couple. Did you vote? Why not? Right? And see what happens. So I sort of think that's important because we got elections coming up this year, election year, and that brings me into ranked choice voting, right? Do you know what ranked choice voting is? I mean, you don't vote, right?
Nope.
You have.
I'm
gonna get you to vote.
I'm gonna blatantly say no.
Yeah, facts. Well, you're not alone. 70% of Anchorage is with you, right?
Bro,
So
there's
you ain't
probably a
alone,
reason,
bro.
Yeah, there's probably a reason behind that. I mean, they're probably all like me, where they just want to see somebody run a state or run a country fairly, or at least to the point where, you know, we're all agreeing on something, not one side agreeing on the other or disagreeing. Where that one person, it's like having you're in a courtroom and there's the 12 judges, or not 12 judges, you're with the 12 judges.
You're a jury.
You're 12 jury members, right? And it's like that one person can fuck up the whole thing or whatever, right? Saying, no, he didn't do this crime. There's no evidence in regard when there's blatant evidence, right? Be fair, come to a concises of yes or no, you know, and
How do you want that to translate into voting? How does that have anything to do with you not voting?
to me,
Like, why don't you vote? To break it down, stupid simple, like you're speaking to a child.
why don't I vote?
I'm a 6-year-old boy, lost and confused, bro. I'm just trying to figure out why you didn't vote.
Lazy.
Lazy. See, I called that earlier, bro.
You did.
I said complacent or lazy or comfortable. Those are the 3 reasons people don't vote.
Because I could say this: lazy, and I don't see a change. That's where I don't vote.
It's because you don't vote. That's why you don't see a change. If
that
you had enough
probably,
people
yeah.
in the like mind, right, and you guys all talked together,
Mm-hmm.
and we got together and we just all said, all right, let's base it. Let's just write out 10 things that we all agree on, right? And we rank them, okay, as a group of 50,000 individuals, okay. At which point, if we got 50,000 individuals just to agree on the same viewpoints and the same actions that we
might
have,
change my
right?
mind.
Okay, that where we could vet a person, okay, and be like, yeah, we really like this person. We really like this person. Okay, you would own the state of Alaska for 5 generations because you could train your children to be in the same group on the same way you're voting, right? So you're like, hey, man, I vote because I get together and I talk to these guys about the issues. We all sort of just talk about what we like and what we don't like. We rank our issues, and we sort of all just sort of vote together so that way they can't change the status quo because we have 680,000 people, give or take, that live in Anchorage, right? So any local election, immediately with 50,000 votes voting one way, right, out of the 70,000, 70% that didn't vote. So obviously getting 50,000 is a nothing, right? It's just getting us all to show up to vote, right? Where they made it so simple, they sent that shit to your house. All you had to do is open it, circle the dots, man. Sign your fucking name and put it back in the box, and still you couldn't get people to do that. One, I think you got a mistrust with how people feel about mail-in balloting, right? And then on the second part, after our ranked choice voting, right, was so crazy, the most craziest thing I've ever experienced in my life, right? The most confusing thing I've ever understood in my life, right? And even now, trying to understand it and educate myself on how much the state has lied to you about ranked choice voting blows my mind. And man, there's just a couple of read this real quick. Read that real quick. And that's just a couple of numbers of what the state blew through in ranked choice voting.
So you're telling me that much?
That's factual shit. That has data that can back that up. Actual like
So you're telling
receipts
me-
from the state.
You're telling me about 14 years ago it was costing that amount.
That's for 10 years.
That's for 10 years.
Right? They
man.
spent 10 years of voting, right? They only spent like what was it, $3 million? They spent
Wow. From a
300,
So it's 300 and they said 328% of the election costs.
in the last 2 years doing ranked choice voting.
And then I'm looking at it says the number of candidates increased by 700% when switching from a closed primary system to a jungle primary system. That's ridiculous.
That's real stuff.
Bro, see in
Now, how do you take this real facts, right? Nobody's talking about this. Well, actually, there are
So-
a bunch of people talking about this. I talked to a guy named Phil. He's the founder of Ranked Choice Voting Repeal Act. And I didn't even know anybody was doing this because, like I said, I've been offline. I'm not on social media a lot, right? I had no interest in this until, last year, right? Where I was like, man, I'm tired. I need to stand up, make a difference. And I got a big mouth, right? So let's talk about it. And just in the last month of me uncovering this stuff, right, is crazy. It's just straight fraud, lying to you, right? On top of that, you got the state lying to you about all this money they spent, and then they coming after you for taxes, and you can't get a good dividend, right? And then they turn around and they hit you with all this police shootings, right? We're now 4 for 4, bro. We're like one cop shooting every week now, bro.
it's becoming a daily thing.
It's almost a daily thing. They're spreading it out. They're real close. 7-9 days a pop. 7-9 days a pop.
Jeez.
You put that shit on a counter. So that Chris Handy. I'm horrible with names. I'm trying to get better with that, but that was the kid who died. Chris Handy. I think called out his name on Twitter, the Twitter drop. But
Boy, they're gonna get you in the comments.
I'm gonna go ahead and double check that and fix that tomorrow because I'm putting a counter on every day on our Twitter account, right? Where I drop down how many days that this kid has been dead since there's been no repercussions or talk about accountability, release the police cams, right?
Didn't I not say 2 days in cold case?
And then I'm going to and then on the bottom of that I add in fourth police shooting in 40 days. Right. And so I'm doing that little counter box. I'm gonna drop that every day, just why not? Why not put it out there?
You get a little more interaction.
And then that brought me to think of, it'd be cool is if we put up like a state counter, like a website for the state that just showed how much money they spent and wasted, and it just like clicked. You know what I mean? Like clicked, and then if people weren't doing their jobs and shit wasn't getting paid off, it just like clicked faster in red, or it'd be like beeping red. Oh, they messed up. You could add in all these failures, right? The Kotzebue water plant. I got a story on that coming down. I got some natives talking to me about that, sending me videos and interviews about what they're actually doing and hearing in Kotzebue about fixing this, I guess, $1 billion failure, right? All the crazy shit that's happening with the Green New Deal and solar farms that are growing up in the villages, right? I got stories from all these people. And
Excited to hear it.
I'm gonna, just put those together, and we'll just see where we're gonna go from there. But what do you think? I think this is a good place to wrap it up and call it a night. Unless you got anything else you want to talk about.
I mean, you're kind of changing my whole insight on the whole voting thing. Yes, lazy was part of the issue. And on top of that, I just never really saw a point in it. I mean, now that you really described about why it's important, or at least, broaden my horizon on the aspect of it's a good thing to just either say no or don't, or say yes or no. Don't say nothing because it just makes it worse if you're not saying nothing. Opening up my eyes to that shows a lot about how much like you alone you're just a single person, but you probably have other mofos out there that are just can't say there's only one Marcus.
I was gonna say, I don't know anybody like me. But everybody that knows me
at least, like-minded that can actually think like you do. At least that can be like, yeah, he's right. Then we need to have more people out there that needs to vote in regards to helping at least a state that needs help.
I mean, all it does is take 50,000.
It just take, yeah, you know
and
what I mean?
We own the rest of Anchorage for literally as long as we can teach that to our generation of the kids that we brought.
But to me, the whole voting thing, especially when I heard about, the whole.
That's why I'm trying to get out here to Gen Z, guys. Gen Z, I'm talking to you guys. If you're 18 to 25, bro, and you want to learn how to take over the system and take over Anchorage, follow us, and we'll get together and we will dominate this city, bro, because no amount of money can stop your vote. That's facts, right? We put the right person in charge. I understand there's like a trust issue with putting a person in and be like, oh, are they gonna, have my back and follow me and push my agendas, right? Who gives a shit? I feel like let's just get the system back into play, right? And trust the people that are out there that are trying to stand up for you, right? It doesn't help if we go in this not trusting the people that you're trying to vote for, right? It's a give and take system, and let's make a change.
Let's do it. Let's make a change, bro.
I'm gonna change everybody's mind, bro.
It's Michael Jackson.
You're my fourth person this week that has sat down and talked to me about voting, and all no voters, all now, like, all right.
I mean,
you got 90 more. You got 90 more days to keep turning me into a believer, right? Like, I'm gonna do something now. I believe I should talk about it.
Can't really change your mind on anything because you are a set. I seen it in you. You're a set type of dude. That when you
I'm not set. I'm one of those. I'm very loud in my opinions, right?
Yeah, that's what I meant by set.
My beliefs are flexible.
Yeah, there you go.
Right? I would say you show me the facts, right?
Then I can
change my beliefs, right? But until then, my opinions are really loud, and I can't help it. That's just who I am.
That's Marcus for you. I'm not gonna hold you on that, brother. That's all I'm gonna say.
We also have that giveaway for that social experiment that we're going to be pulling off here in the next week or two. We'll have a date for you shortly, but we're going to be auctioning off that backpack.
Preem times Louis bag.
Yep, and some gas cards.
Okay.
For like a little raffle, but it's like a 1 minute social experiment. We all show up, do a flash mob, right?
I'm not gonna hold you. I might have to.
I'm going to. We're gonna do some social experiment real quick. It'll take about 3 minutes. Then we're gonna raffle this shit off, and then everybody can bounce. Quick. Okay. 10 minutes tops. If everybody shows up, I mean, we might wait, 15, 20 minutes to see beforehand, before the time comes. But when we say like 6:45 raffle, right? Then at 6:45, man, we're doing the social experiment, and then we're gonna raffle this off, and then we're gonna get out.
Not gonna hold you, bro. I might be in that experiment.
Invite people. That's the whole.
I might just be like, yo, I want this
the whole
bag.
point. If you're in the Anchorage area, right? If you're in the Anchorage area, that's what we want. Swing on down, come by, check us out. If you're between 18 and older, right? I don't care how old you are. If you want some chance at a gas card and chance at a Supreme bag, come down and check out this social experiment, this flash mob, and see if we can get this going, right? Like, I just want to see if
people who knew who we knew
we can just get some examples of good ways to pop out some polls, pop off some social experiments from Gen Z, and see what's up. All right, from there, let's go ahead and call it a night here, and we'll catch you next week. Same time, same bad channel. Thanks for joining Alaska Rants.